It is Wednesday night. I just found out today that I don't have to work tomorrow or Friday. So I actually get a 4-day weekend. But let me tell you guys something. This is the very, very, very first 4-day weekend I've had since the Army. And let me explain that. The only time I didn't have a 4-day weekend when I was in the Army was when I was in Iraq, of course. When I was in Iraq, I celebrated Thanksgiving in Iraq. And I worked every single day of those 4 days. And, of course, we had our Thanksgiving dinner. But the night that we celebrated Thanksgiving in Iraq, George Bush decided to do a surprise landing at the Baghdad International Airport in his huge 747 Air Force One jet and decided to have dinner with the troops. Of course, I wasn't one of the ones that got to do it. I do have a picture, though, of my section leader, or section sergeant, he was an E5, who got a chance to spend, a Thanksgiving dinner right next to Bush. In fact, I have a picture of him standing right next to Bush himself. And of course, doesn't matter what president it is, it's an honor to shake the hand of the president, no matter who the president is. Whether it's Bush or, Bush, or Barack Obama, Clinton. I'll be more than happy to shake any of those people's hands. The old Bush, I'll be like, if Bush came to me and wanted to shake my hand, even though I didn't like him as president, George W. Bush, but I will still shake his hand because he was our president. He was our leader for 8 years, And now we have a new leader. Well, he's not new, but, he's going to be in for 8 years as well. And I think Barack Obama is going to lead our nation in a good way. But the thing is that I'll be glad to shake his hand too. Equally the same as if Bush came up to me. Even though I don't like him as a president, he still served our country. And I love this country. And I may not agree with everything that Bush has said in the past, but I really didn't necessarily agree. Or let me say I'm saying it wrong. I didn't really agree with everything that Bush has to say. Now, even though I voted for Obama, I really don't agree with every single thing that Obama has to say. I don't. There are some things I'm like, okay, you may want to rethink that. Okay? So, I disagree with a lot of people's views. When it comes to religion, politics, sex, sexual preferences, I disagree with a lot of people. Computer choices, and OS choices and all that. I disagree with a lot of people. At the same time, I'm not going to dislike them. I know I'll give you a good example about OS choices. Chris Pirillo did a review on the Microsoft Surface when he purchased it. It came to his mailbox. He opened it and did a live unboxing and review of the Surface. He really didn't have a great time playing with the Surface. And he kept complaining about drop frames and a few other things that he just didn't like. He thought the Surface wasn't really good enough for release, unlike the iPad and I guess the Nexus 7 and stuff like that. And I haven't seen the video yet, but I understand that he didn't really give a good review on the Nexus 10 either. Okay, but that's besides the point. My thing is that on Thanksgiving Day, when Bush did come, we didn't get to eat that night. We didn't get to eat that, not right away, say it like that. Now, keep in mind that Bush flew in secretly. No one knew he was coming. And it was at the last minute that they chose a few select people to go meet with him and have dinner with him. But he was only there for like 30 minutes to an hour. And then he was gone. It was after that was when we were able to go to the DFAC and eat our chow. But yeah, I remember that day very clearly, and how secretive that whole thing was. Let me run across the street here. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I had to run across the street to make a light. Now, let's talk about Thanksgiving for a second. And that's one thing I'm not a connoisseur of history. I'm not an expert with history at all, okay? Not even a little bit. But I do have interest in history. It's just like someone who has an interest in cooking doesn't make them a chef. They just have an interest in cooking, okay? I have an interest in history, and I do like to learn a few little history facts. And I do pay attention to a lot of history that's been told, that we've been told pretty much most of our school age, most of our history lessons, were told a lot of incorrect facts about Thanksgiving, and other holidays that are related to American history. And we were all told in school to make the story all nice and pretty, that the Cowboys, or not the Cowboys and the Indians, but, oh shoot, I made it here before my bus got here. I'm going to get home a little bit earlier today. Hey, my bus is coming, so that is out of sight. Dynamite. Awesome. That is so awesome. Hey, check you guys later.